Hi everyone, welcome to episode 2 of AWS She Builds Tech Skills. We're so happy to have you here again. I just wanted to showcase that this show is all about showcasing the amazing technical projects and work that women and those who identify as women or non-binary have implemented in AWS Cloud. We'll nerd out with some awesome guests lined up from the tech community and the technical women from AWS as well today. My name is Maya, and I'm a solutions architect from AWS based in Australia. And I'm here today with my lovely co host, May.
Hi, Mai, and everyone. Welcome to AWS She Builds Tech Skills. My name is May. I'm also a solution architect based in Sydney, Australia. So, She Builds Tech Skill. It's a monthly series where we talk about some of the awesome projects that community has built and share their story. This program is for all level of technical experience, and we will provide resources at the end of the episode so you can take it away and build it yourself. We will also be running some giveaways, so stay tuned on this channel and a live Q&A with our special guest today. So make sure you put your questions in the chat as we go. So what's in it for you viewers? We will be giving away resources, tutorials for you at the end of the show. So stay tuned for that.
Thanks, May. We now have our special guest, Rita Ladda, who is a senior database specialist solutions architect from AWS. And she'll be talking about modernizing your database to Amazon Aurora. Welcome, Rita.
Hello everyone. Welcome to Modernizing Your Databases to Amazon Aurora session. My name is Rita Ladda. I am a senior database solution architect with AWS. In this session, I will talk about why many of our customers are modernizing and migrating their legacy databases over to AWS Aurora. I will also walk through what is Amazon Aurora and some of the benefits that it brings to cloud native relational database. I will also go over the migration tools that can help you in this journey of migrating your databases over to AWS. And finally, I'll leave you with resources that will help you get started in this migration journey. So let's get started. Many of our customers are facing challenges with commercial old card databases as they are expensive. They lock customers in. And if you have ever worked with Oracle or SQL Server, I'm sure you must be familiar with punitive licensing terms and painful frequent audits. So based on feedback from a lot of our customers, while we understand that Oracle and SQL Server really offer a lot of amazing features, they come at really high price, whether you are using those features or not. And that's why the customers are looking to move away from these legacy databases and looking for open source alternatives which can give them which can reduce the total cost of ownership and still give them the same performance, availability, and agility of the commercial databases with similar faster innovation. So understanding these challenges, AWS built Amazon Aurora, which is a MySQL, PostgreSQL compatible purpose-built cloud-native relational database that gives you the performance, availability, and security of enterprise-grade databases at 1/10 the cost. It's a fully managed service, so AWS takes care of the heavy lifting of infrastructure management, and you can focus more on business innovation. So the next question we are commonly asked is, what is purpose-built database and how is it different architecturally than a traditional database engine? So to address that question, it's best to first look at the traditional database architecture. The traditional stack is monolithic in nature with different layers of functionalities all within the same stack. So all engines will pretty much have similar layers consisting of components like your query optimizer, layer to manage transactions, a caching layer for performance, and then your logging and storage layer at the bottom. Customers try to scale this architecture through various techniques like sharding, distributed databases, which, if not done correctly, can actually increase the latency and reduce the overall performance. So when we reinvented the relational database architecture for AWS Aurora, we broke away from that monolithic stack by decoupling storage functionalities away from compute, which in essence provides for independent scale in and scale out capabilities. And this, in essence, really increases performance and increases the stability. So Aurora storage is a distributed storage with 6 copies of data spread across 3 availability zones, which means it has built-in fault tolerance with the way it is designed. So even if one of the availability zone were to go down, and on top of it, if one of the storage node were to go down, Aurora will still continue to function and still continue to serve the request, because you still have 3 copies of data available to you. So this built-in fault tolerance really improves the availability and stability of Aurora. In case your compute node were to go down, Aurora can fail over automatically to the reader replica, typically within less than 30 seconds. And this reduced failover time is because of the decoupled nature of architecture. So what it means is that, again, even in case of issues, your disruption to the service is really minimal, improving the customer experience. In the very highly unlikely event that a region were to go down or experience some degradation, we have Aurora Global Database, wherein you could create read replicas across region, which can be failed over to and take the role of a primary in case of disruption. This again increases the availability of the Aurora database. So apart from the high availability, durability, what other features are there in Aurora that helps improve agility and scalability? Aurora storage can scale automatically up to 128 terabytes. Not only that, if you were to delete some data or drop some data, it can automatically shrink as well, and you only pay for what you use. Similarly, for compute, you can scale read replicas automatically to meet the demands of your very busy system. And because it's scaled automatically, there is very less management overhead, and you only pay for what you use. Aurora Serverless goes a step beyond. It not only scales your read instances, but also your write capacity automatically in fraction of seconds, which can potentially save you up to 90% of cost, because at any given point in time, you're only provisioning the capacity that you need. And it can scale up and down in a very granular fashion to provide you that feature. To maximize the agility and security, Aurora has various features like fast database cloning, which can create a clone of Aurora cluster with copy on write protocol in a very space efficient and cost efficient manner, where your primary and secondary share the storage at the time of creation. This could be very good for when you're setting up a new environment and you want to do it really fast for maybe new project or to test out certain changes. Aurora also has a lot of built-in monitoring capabilities to give you visibility into the health of the system, not only at the OS and hypervisor level, but also at the database level with performance insight. And then for security, you have it's compliant to various certificates and compliance requirements as needed, like your PCI, SOC, or HIPAA. It also has built-in authentication and authorization with IAM, or if you need to do auditing for your compliance reasons, it has database activity stream feature, which allows you to do auditing. So now that we understand, we have just scratched the surface of all the features available within Aurora. How do we migrate? So if you're doing heterogeneous migration, that is, say, for example, from SQL Server over to Amazon Aurora, you would need to migrate and convert schema. And that's where AWS's free schema conversion tool comes in, which allows you to automate, for the most part, migration of your schema from, say, Oracle or SQL Server over to MySQL or PostgreSQL. Once the schema is migrated, then you can use AWS's database migration service to migrate the data and to replicate the changes to do your migration with minimal downtime. Additionally, based on the feedback from customers, we have found that one of the most popular destination for modernizing SQL Server is AWS Aurora PostgreSQL. And that's where AWS came up with Babelfish feature, which is for Aurora PostgreSQL. What Babelfish does is it can convert your T-SQL code to Aurora PostgreSQL compatible code and acts as a translation layer between your application and database. So if you have a database written for SQL Server, now you don't need to change that application. I'm sorry, if your application written for SQL Server, now you don't have to change that application, and you can continue to use that application, but change the backend to PostgreSQL. What that means is now your migration can be really fast and low effort. These are some of the resources to help you get started with your migration journey with schema conversion tool, migration playbooks, which gives you step-by-step guide on migrating from, say, Oracle or SQL Server to MySQL or PostgreSQL. Various free labs available for you to get started. And of course, AWS team is always available to support you through this migration journey. Thanks for your time and happy building.
Fantastic. So I love that you talked about Amazon Aurora back then. May, have you played with Amazon Aurora yourself?
I did play a little bit with Aurora, but I haven't tried Aurora serverless. So I'm really excited about that. And also the Babelfish. So I haven't tried that. So I'll probably check it out after this show.
Yeah, fantastic. Yeah, me too. I've played around with RDS mainly and DynamoDB, but looking forward to lots of great upcoming releases and features in re:Invent, which is coming up, I think, next week. So definitely something to register for. It's all virtual and free as well. So it was a really great session there, but just to check that you are all listening in, we're giving away AWS credits for 2 lucky winners. So you can get built in right away on AWS, experimenting with our AWS database services. So May, would you like to take it away?
Yes. So let me post the questions in a chat, and whoever answered the right question is gonna get the AWS credits in this episode.
Yes, while May's doing that, I'll just say that verbally as well. The question is, which database engine does Amazon Aurora support? Engines, could be plural. Do we have any responses from the viewers? Take a wild guess.
Yeah,
No?
any wild guess?
RDS. Close. Should we give away some hints? Postgres, yes. There's one person that said Postgres. Yep. So
I'll
that's
give
one.
a bit of time for the viewers to come up with some idea or some wild guesses. Um, we have got quite a few credits to give away, so keep the answers coming in. Maybe a
All
few more
right.
seconds. Do you reckon, Mai?
Yeah, a few more seconds. A few more
Few more
seconds.
seconds. Yeah.
All right. Any more wild guesses before we tell you the answer?
Well, I guess not. So
Guess
should
not.
we?
Yeah, let's do the big reveal. Who won? Oh, there's another one.
All right. So I'm going to put it in the chats for the winners, and Bobby AOI, if I pronounce, I'm not sure if I pronounce your Twitch handles correctly. You are also the winner. Sour Jet, you're also the winners. So yes, Aurora, Amazon Aurora support MySQL and PostgreSQL.
Yes, and Postgres. Yes, so well done, winners there. Your credits will be on the way. Fantastic. All right, so now it's Q&A time. So we'd love to have our guest Rita joining our chat. So let's just add here. All right. So let me just change the layout here. Welcome, Rita. We're so glad to have you on our show, and we'd love to start off with some of the questions that we have for you. And loved how you looked at all the current AWS database services. I know there's lots of other services that are related to it, but we focused on a lot about Aurora and the relational database services at the moment. But first question, so what's the difference between RDS MySQL, PostgreSQL, and Aurora MySQL or PostgreSQL?
Thanks, Mai. Thanks for having me on this channel. So when we are talking about RDS, MySQL, and PostgreSQL, and Aurora MySQL and PostgreSQL, the difference is in the architecture, the way Aurora is implemented, and it has been redesigned for cloud native as a cloud native relational database. And what it does is it gives you better performance. So when you compare it with RDS, typically for MySQL you would have 3 times the throughput, and for a PostgreSQL 5 times the throughput. So the decoupled nature of the architecture gives you higher performance, and then Aurora comes with a lot of features, extra features that are many a times needed for the critical workloads. So if you were deciding between the two, what I would suggest is to understand your performance requirements, your RTO, RPO requirements, and also understand one of the things that is different is usually Aurora, RDS is more closer to the community version as opposed to Aurora. So understanding those differences and the requirements for your particular workload in terms of IOPS, in terms of scaling for read replicas would help you decide which way to go, whether to go for RDS, MySQL, PostgreSQL, or Aurora MySQL and PostgreSQL.
Fantastic. Thanks for explaining the differences between those two. And I know there was a mention of Aurora Serverless version 2. So love to know more about Aurora Serverless v2.
Yeah, sure. I'm very excited about the upcoming feature for Aurora. So we do have Aurora Serverless V1. We had that for some time now. What's so great about Serverless version 2 is that it scales really fast. So one of the feedback that we got from customers was they wanted for their, especially when they have spiky workloads where they have a lot of requests coming in for their workloads. They wanted the database to scale really fast to meet the demands. And that's what we have implemented in serverless v2, where it scales really fast in sub-seconds to give you the capacity that you need at a particular given time. On top of it, with serverless v2, it now supports all the features of Aurora. So you get global database, you get a query plan, parallel execution, fast database cloning. So all of these features which help you to improve your agility, availability are available with serverless v2 as well. And typically, because it scales up and down as needed automatically, very less overhead, and it can potentially save you up to 90% in cost.
Fantastic. So I think it'll be great for those that are focusing in on serverless workloads as well. So how can I assess my commercial databases for migration to Aurora if I'm interested? And can you talk a little bit more about recently released Babelfish?
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, we are seeing many customers are, as I said, are looking to move away from the commercial databases because of a lot of challenges they face, not only just for the license cost perspective, but also to meet some of the feature requirements as well. Uh, so the first step when you are deciding of migrating over to Aurora or open source option is to understand the feature parity and comparison between your, say, SQL Server or Oracle databases and MySQL and PostgreSQL. In AWS, we have various tools to help you assess your source databases. So we have tools like schema conversion tool. What it does is it would go into the database. It would look at your schema for your commercial databases, and it would evaluate, after looking at the schema, how much of that schema can be automatically converted, and what's the compatibility. It would give you a report that tells you, your probably storage objects, yeah, that is your tables, views, etc., are 99% of them can be converted automatically and are compatible. And for your code objects like your stored procedures, triggers, etc., it would give you results saying, maybe 60-70% can be automatically converted, and then there's some effort involved in converting the remaining. So that gives you an idea of the amount of effort involved in migration, and that would be really a good place to start. Now, it's nice of you, Mai, to bring up Babelfish. Babelfish has been recently released. It's just I think a week old. And with Babelfish goes a step beyond. So a lot of time migration is not just about the databases, but applications as well, where you have potentially could have embedded T-SQL code, which would need also be converted. And that can be an effort. And what Babelfish does is it is a translation layer. So it comes as an endpoint in Aurora, and it can do the translation from that T-SQL to PostgreSQL compatible code, such that you don't have to now change your application. So it just reduces your effort to migration. The whole idea behind this is to make the migration process as seamless and with minimal effort as possible. Hope that answers.
Yeah, definitely. A lot of my customers are looking into migrations as well, and anything to make their migration process smooth is something definitely to be looked at. Awesome. So, May, do we have any questions on the chat from the audience at all?
At the moment, we haven't got much of the questions, so I think we're good at the moment. Yeah.
Thanks, May. Okay, I guess we can wrap up the Q&A with Rita. Thank you very much for coming on to our show, and we hope to see you again next time with new database services that you love to announce and talk about. So thanks so much, Rita,
Thanks,
and we'll
Rita.
catch you soon.
Thank you. It's a pleasure. Thanks, guys.
So that was a really great presentations and also the Q&A. So I'm really excited about the Aurora serverless and also the migration tools. I just pop in a link in the chat if anyone want to try it out, the schema conversion tool that Rita talked about, and also new announcement with the Aurora services. So just before we sign off, we are giving away all the lucky viewers some homework and the resources that Rita prepares, so you can go and educate yourself what Rita has talked about today. So we have got schema conversion tool, the migration playbooks, which might comes in handy, right? So it's got like step-by-step guides to how to perform the migration, what are the prerequisites, and all these things. So I'm going to pop it in the chat and let us know what you think about those tutorials. And if you have built anything from those episodes, come and talk to us, and we would love to hear from you all.
Fantastic, May. So hope to see you at the next episode in about a month's time. And we'd love to hear your feedback and comments around some topics you'd love to know more about. And if you identify as a woman or non-binary and have built something really awesome on AWS, we'd love to hear from you and have you as a guest on our show. So reach out to us via LinkedIn, and also you can see down here how you can contact us via email as well. So this is Mai.
And May. And let's net out together on the AWS She Builds Tech Skills.
See you next time.
See ya.